Hello, today we will guide you through how to add consent form on Qualtrics. We'll begin in the Qualtrics survey editor, where your survey is already open. From the Edit Survey area, the first thing to do is create a separate space for the consent form so it appears clearly and can be managed more easily. To do that, click Add Block. This gives you a dedicated section for the consent content, which is helpful for keeping the beginning of your survey organized. Once the new block has been added, click Add New Question. This is where you'll build the actual consent prompt that participants will respond to before moving forward. For the question type, choose multiple choice. This format works well for consent because it allows respondents to select a clear answer, such as whether they agree or do not agree to participate. Next, enter your sample question. This will serve as the consent question participants see at the start of the survey. Make sure the wording is easy to understand and direct, since consent language should be as clear as possible. At this stage, you're simply placing the question into the survey so it can be referenced in the next part of the setup. After entering the question, look to the left side navigation, scroll down, and click Add Requirements. This helps define how the question should behave and ensures the survey captures the response properly before a participant continues. From there, click Survey Flow. Survey flow is where you control the logic of what happens in your survey based on a participant's response. This is especially useful for consent forms because you may want the survey to continue only when a participant selects the appropriate answer. Inside Survey Flow, click Toggle Questions so you can view and work with the individual questions connected to your survey structure. Then select the sample question you entered earlier. This tells Qualtrics which question you want to use for the flow condition. Next, select the final answer. In other words, choose the response option that represents the outcome you want to act on in the survey flow. For a consent form, this is typically the answer that determines whether the participant should proceed or stop. After that, click Add a new element here. This lets you insert a new action into the survey flow based on the answer you just selected. Then choose End of Survey. This step sets the survey to end when that specific response is triggered, which is a common way to manage non-consent responses cleanly and automatically. Once this is in place, your consent form logic is set up in Qualtrics. Be sure to review the question text and test the flow so the survey behaves exactly as expected before sharing it with participants.